Her turn. Her speech.
I'm bringing sexy back. Hi Vogue, I'm Gisele Bundchen, and today we are looking through my life in looks. So let's see it. Oh my God. What's this face that I'm making? My mom, I have a twin sister, and she always used to dress us the same, and this is probably a wedding of a cousin or somebody. My mom had 5 daughters, so we were flower girls to quite a lot of our, family members. This was in London. Look at my Birkenstocks with socks. I mean, look at this style. I mean, this is how much I knew about fashion, okay? Look at what I'm wearing. I'll just go around like this every day thinking like everything was fine. I didn't care. I only worked with Jorgen many years later. And this was a Polaroid. There was a Polaroid he took. I have no idea whose car it was, but, thank God it didn't have an alarm. That would have been funny. Who wears Birkenstocks with socks? I guess I do. I guess I did. This was one of the most traumatizing moments. I mean, I didn't speak English. It was my first show season in London. I did 42 castings. I remember going to all these castings and nobody would even look at my book because it was the heroin chic time and I didn't look like nothing like the heroin chic, obviously, as you can see in this picture. But I went to do the casting for Alexander McQueen and there were girls around the block. There were like 1,000 girls. It was the craziest thing. And he was just sitting in this couch and he would just go and say, walk. And he would put you in these impossible shoes. I didn't have a fitting, so when I showed up at the show, I was like, what am I wearing? I could say like a few words, but I didn't understand half the things. I just pretended I understood. I was just like, yeah, but I had no clue. And I was like, what is a t-shirt or something? No, it was this. I started crying, but I had these like feathers attached to my lashes. So as I was crying, like they were ungluing and the makeup artist was like, please don't cry. And I was walking the whole time thinking, oh my God, I hope my dad never sees this picture. But that's why I have the memory of this show. All I wanted to do was leave, but it's one of those things that make you stronger. This is my first Vogue cover, yes! When I shot this cover, I was 17. I was a baby, oh my God, like look how baby I was. I was very tan because I used to love just being on the sun all the time, and I was very happy to be in a cover of Vogue. This is Donatella's earliest collections. I have a long history with Versace. I did a lot of their campaigns throughout the years. I remember all those metallic things, the show had all that. It was cold to the touch. When you put it on, it was like a cold thing. She's always a very nice lady, so it was nice to be wearing her outfit for the cover. Oh wow, this is Jean-Paul Gaultier. He's awesome. Jean-Paul is one of those guys who are like super funny, very creative, and every time you do a show for him is something, you never know what you're gonna be wearing or what you're gonna be looking like. It's literally like a jacket made out of a duvet. It was always fun to walk in his shows because he's just a very nice guy and very talented. I think that's pretty cool. This was McQueen. I mean, I think part of modeling that I've always enjoyed was the ability to completely transform. And when you worked with him, you always had that opportunity. I mean, when you see this outfit, you know that you're not gonna be you. You know you're gonna be embodying something different. Because I definitely don't walk around like that. Imagine if like, hey, honey, I'm home. I don't think so. This was a cover with Kate, Iman, Lauren Hutton, myself. I was 19. Very special to be there with those beautiful ladies. It was like the times of each year, like I think, so I was considered the face of the 2000s and then Kate was the 90s and I felt very, very honored and grateful to be surrounded by those incredible women. Oh my gosh, this was funny, okay? So this was the model of the year. I was in the Vogue cover, the next Vogue cover, and it came out like a week before that it was gonna be announced, so everyone knew I was gonna be the winner. So it was so funny. And then I arrived there and I was with my Birkenstocks. So I showed up and Anna was like, Gisele, what is she wearing to receive her awards? And I'm like, this. And she was like, I think Grace wants to see you in the dressing room. I think you should go. So she gave me that Dolce & Gabbana outfit. And I love Domenico and Stefano. I mean, they're one of the biggest supporters of my career. I've done Dolce & Gabbana campaigns for I don't know how many years. Actually, today, thank you, Anna. Thank you, Grace, for giving me this beautiful outfit because if I would have seen myself in my dirty jeans, I probably would have not been happy. Oh, okay. So this is when I was 19 years old and I signed my contract with Victoria's Secret And this was the ruby bra. It was like the $50 million bra. I did have securities following me everywhere. Everywhere I went, there was like these two guys like making sure. I was like, guys, I'm not doing anything with it. It was pretty fun. I think still the most expensive bra that they've ever made. It was very, very heavy. Lucky I was 19, so so it was all fine to hold all that weight, but it was a heavy bra. At that moment in 2000, you either did catalogs or you did fashion. And they really didn't mix. It's like if you did Vogue and if you did the shows, you didn't really do catalogs. So when I signed the contract with them, I remember calling Anne, my agent, and saying like, what are we gonna do? Because they were offering me a lot of money. I mean, it's more money than I've made in my entire career since I was 14 working. And I had to make a decision, am I gonna do this contract? But at the same time, it was like, if I did this contract, maybe I would never do fashion again because it was this thing. But I was, 19 years old and I was like, I don't know how much I'm gonna last here. I've been in the business since I was 14. I saw so many girls that were working and the next day you never saw them again. So I was like, you know what? They're paying me great. They pay me more money than I could ever imagine. So I think I'm gonna say yes to it, but I have to take the risk. So I signed it and everything worked out. So this was 2005. This was a Dior dress. Leo was getting the nomination and he invited me to go with him and he was my boyfriend at the time. Yeah, John Galliano made this dress. It was a Dior dress. I just loved it. All the embroidery but when you go to a place like the Oscars, there's like a lot of people and everyone is screaming. And I remember just feeling a bit like squeezing his hand and be like, okay, I'm here. It was nice to experience that once in a lifetime. And I love that dress. Thank you, John. All right, that was I'm Bringing Sexy Back. Justin Timberlake was performing on this thing with that song, I remember, and I was coming out. And my wing was broken, actually. As you can see, it doesn't look like a wing, the other side for some reason. And I remember everybody's, the wing is broken. I'm like, whatever, we have to go out. So it's just gonna go with the broken wing. But that was my last fashion show for Victoria's Secret. I always made sure that my back was covered because it just made me uncomfortable walking on a runway with my butt hanging out from looking from down up. I was like, that's not gonna happen. But I always had fun on the shows. It was always like a production. There was always someone singing. There was always something happening. It was a fun experience. Oh my gosh, this was fun. So the way I got this thing, I was flying from Los Angeles and the lady who was writing this movie came to me and she said, I'm doing this movie, Devil Wears Prada, and it's all about, fashion and everything. And I'm getting some models to act on it. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. Like, I'm not gonna play a model. I do that every day. Like, that's already a role I play. And she's like, no, but I would love to have you in it. Well, maybe I can write a little something for you. They call and they say, hey, we have a part for Gisele. And okay, let's just think about this. I am not an actress. I never had an acting class. It was Meryl Streep, which I think is the best actress of all time. It was Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway. All of them, incredible. And that's the scene I was doing with those three ladies and me. So I was like, okay, I hope I don't screw this up. And today is funny because my daughter, she was in some friend's house. She's like, Mom, I saw you in a movie. You were wearing glasses. Was that you? I was like, that was me. So it was cute to have my daughter, recognizing me for the 2 seconds I was on screen. All right, so this was a 60-year anniversary of Dior. I mean, look at these outfits. I wasn't really doing shows anymore, but I love John. He's always been the kindest. I've done Dior when he was in Dior for years. I was their campaign girl. So when he asked me to do the show, I was like, okay, so I wasn't really doing shows, but I'm like, I'm coming. I'm going to Paris. I'm doing this show. It was all the girls there. And my outfit was this really tight black skirt and the shoes. I remember thinking, I'm gonna break my feet. The heel was like this. The platform was like this. I felt like I was like the tallest I've ever been. Very concerned about breaking my ankle on this show. I did not fall. And I did have fun. So it was very special. Oh. So this was our wedding. We had this church in Santa Monica and we went there and I literally arrived with my jeans and my t-shirt and I got dressed in the priest room. I did my own hair and makeup. I literally didn't even do my hair. I just put some mascara on, which was a good thing. I had waterproof mascara because I was crying the entire time. It was a special day. This was the McQueen dress. This was the matte. Everyone was stepping on my dress. Every moment I was walking, I was like, but I love that dress. That red was amazing. And red is not a color that I really wear because I'm pretty neutral colors I prefer, but again, honoring my queen, which I have so much gratitude for. And I remember being in the exhibit and thinking, wow, okay. And that's just me in the street, fully pregnant, probably answering emails. I actually was doing Kung Fu. This is when I lived in Boston. I literally did martial arts until I was 9 months pregnant. So I have videos of me with a stick, like doing stick form and sword fight, all of it with like a belly leg out to here. Okay, this is when I turned 40. Brazil Vogue made a homage for my 40 years, and this was the cover for it. And Inez and Vanu shot it in New York. They felt that they were the best way to celebrate 40 years old was like how you come into the world, and I say, let's go. And I think it's very artistic too, because you don't see, it feels very like a sculpture, kind of. I think that was the idea, to be kind of like a statue. So this, we were in the Amazon, and I was doing this campaign for Stop Deforestation in the Amazon. Desmatamento Zero means zero deforestation. Had the opportunity to spend 10 days with the Xingu tribe, and it was amazing, and just to see how they live and their connection to nature and their intuition, and it was amazing. It was life-changing, and since then, I've been working on trying to bring awareness to protect our beautiful planet and just honor it in the way that I feel that we should, because it's our home. This was my last runway show. This was a Alexander Harkovich dress. The idea was because he was girl from Ipanema, Rio is the ocean and everything. And that was the longest runway of my life, I'm telling you. It was like, I didn't see the end of it. And I remember it was like so much high security. I just felt like, wow, like, I don't know if I want to walk in front of 80,000 people. And you get so nervous. I mean, it's like, there's nobody else. It's like one spotlight on you and nothing else is happening. So it was a little pressure. But I pray and I went, and it all worked out. This was a Versace campaign. Steven, he's amazing. I think Steven was the photographer who taught me how to model. But we worked together so much. I mean, we've done so many Vogues together, and he was my photographer that shot my first Vogue cover. He just helped me understood like that the picture was about really becoming a character, and having the opportunity to work with him so much throughout the whole end of the 90s and the 2000s, and it's been an incredible school for me. This is in Montana, and my daughter, she's so funny. I've been practicing yoga and meditation and all that since my early 20s. And my kids have always been kind of in and out of it. Like, sometimes I'm sitting in meditation and one of them will come and sit in my lap and just sit there with me for like 10 minutes. And it's the same thing with yoga. Sometimes I'm just outside, like doing my moving meditation, which is what I call when I do asanas. And this was one of those moments where she was just sitting there outside the deck, and Vivi just came and she decided to practice yoga with mommy. She does that a lot. I hope when she grows up and becomes a teenager, she would want to do everything with me, because I love her. So this was the Super Bowl 2021. Tom had just won the Super Bowl, and the kids were so happy. We were just so happy for him. He works so hard, and it's a family day, really, for us to just be together and celebrate and be there for him, to support him. All right, I think we're done. Well, this was fun. Thank you, Vogue, for selecting all these pictures. It was really fun to talk about them and share with you, and I hope you guys enjoy.